Hi, my name is Anna Schiferl, and this is my cell analogy on Twitter. Hope you enjoy. The first part of a cell would be the cell wall. A cell wall would be, for Twitter, the terms and conditions, and down here at the bottom it says, by signing up you're agreeing to the terms of service, which is the same thing. So terms and conditions are like the cell wall because a cell wall prevents expansion and protects the cell. Terms and conditions is like that because without accepting the terms and conditions, you are not allowed to be on Twitter. So people who don't accept will not get to be on Twitter. So just like how the cell wall prevents overexpansion, so does the terms and conditions by only letting people in who accept it to have an account. The next part of a cell would be the cell membrane, also called the plasma membrane. For Twitter, I say that would be the login and sign up page. So you come here, and in my last part, you already saw the sign up page. So we're just going to hit add existing account, and that is the login page. The cell membrane controls passage of materials into and out of the cell and protects from outside forces. I feel the login and sign up page is like that because to log in, you have to know the username and password, and without knowing the password or username, you can't get in. So if someone wanted to hack your account but didn't know your password, they wouldn't get in. So that login and sign up page protects from outside forces. The next part of a cell would be the nucleus. For Twitter, the nucleus would be your profile. So we're going to hit cancel and go to my profile. Your Twitter profile is like the nucleus because you can control just about anything with your profile, who you follow, who follows you, what you tweet, and what people can know about you, and pretty much everything. All that is like a control center, which is what a nucleus is, because you control what happens from your profile, because without a profile, you can't do anything. The next part of a cell would be the nuclear membrane. The nuclear membrane for Twitter would be your edit profile. The option to edit your profile is like the nuclear membrane because the nuclear membrane is the membrane around the nucleus that separates genetic material. I think this is like editing your profile because you can edit what people know about you and the basic information about yourself, like your name, your location, your website, and your bio. The next part of a cell would be the chromatin. For Twitter, I say the chromatin would be the protect my tweets. You're going to go to this little gear right here, hit settings, go to accounts, go down, and it says protect my tweets. The protect my tweets option is like the chromatin because the chromatin protects DNA, and with protect my tweets, you can protect yourself from others so no one can view your account. Unless they are following you, people cannot see your account while it's on private. It's like it says below, protect my tweets. Only your current followers and people you approve in the future will be able to see your protected tweets, which is exactly what I explained. The next part of a cell would be the cytoplasm. For Twitter, I say that is blocking, so we're going to look at my friend since she said I could use it as an example in this. So you're going to hit the gear and then hit block. Blocking, just like a cytoplasm, gives us some sort of buffer from collisions with other cells, which I think is just like blocking others from seeing your account. So the buffer between us would be blocking her, and the collisions would be stopping us from like talking, or like it says here, that she will not be able to follow me or view my tweets, which is the stopping the collision between us. The next part of a cell would be the mitochondria. For Twitter, I say that is notifications. The mitochondria is what stores energy on your profile. There are sections where it stores anything you have been mentioned in or anything of yours that people have retweeted or favorited, which is this little bell down here that says notifications. It stores everything that has happened, which all that would be the energy since it's like the activity on your account. So all of this is the activity, which is the mentioning, the retweeting, and the favoriting. And that's all stored here, which is the like energy for Twitter. The next part of a cell would be the vacuole. For Twitter, I say that is deleting tweets. So I'll give you an example. We're just going to tweet something random. I love science. Not going to say that's actually true, just writing it. So deleting tweets is like the vacuole because the vacuole exports unwanted material. Deleting tweets is similar to that because you're deleting the tweets that you tweeted and don't like, so tweets are the unwanted material. So we're going to come here, hit that, and then delete tweet, just like that, which is like the unwanted material that the vacuole gets rid of. The next part of a cell would be the ribosome. For Twitter, that would be Jack Dorsey, who's the founder of Twitter, so we're just going to look him up. Ribosomes are like the blueprints of the cell construction, and that is exactly what Jack Dorsey did. He created Twitter, which it says right here, founder of Twitter. He created Twitter and basically has all the blueprints that made Twitter. The next part of a cell would be the endoplasmic reticulum. For Twitter, I say that is mentioning, so we're going to use my friend Izzy again as an example for this. We're just going to type in her username, and we'll just simply say hi. The endoplasmic reticulum communicates between cells, and that is exactly what mentioning does, which I just did with Izzy by mentioning her. Mentioning allows people to communicate with other Twitter users and have conversations with them through tweeting. Just by mentioning their username in the tweet, you are mentioning them. So it's all blue right there, which means I mentioned her. So when you click on it, you go straight to her account. The next part of a cell would be the Golgi body. For Twitter, the Golgi body would be the Twitter Help Center. So we're going to hit the gear and hit Help. The reason Twitter's Help Center is like the Golgi body is because the Help Center sorts out everything that has to do with Twitter. You can easily look it up and read it for help. It's kind of like a filing system, which is all these like little squares. The Golgi body sorts and packages proteins, and I feel anything that is there in the Help Center sorts and packages everything so you can easily find what you need and get help. So the advice or the actual steps in the Help Center would be the proteins it stores in packages. For example, we just click on one using Twitter search, and you scroll down, and it has steps, which are like the proteins that it stores in packages. The next part of a cell is the lysosome. For Twitter, I say that is updates, so instead of going to the actual app for Twitter, we're going to go to the App Store and look at updates. Lysosome digests damaged and old organelles and gets rid of viruses, which reminds me of updates. Updates get rid of the old version of Twitter and gets rid of viruses affecting the app. So the most recent update was just minor improvements, so it wasn't much, but previous ones have helped improve it and got rid of things that affected the app and wouldn't let it work properly. The next part of a cell would be the chloroplast. For Twitter, that would be Wi-Fi, so instead of going to the app again, we are just going to go to settings and go to my Wi-Fi, which is off right now, so we're just going to hit on. Chloroplast takes in photosynthesis, which is an outside source of the cell that allows the cell to function. When comparing it to Twitter, Wi-Fi is an outside source of energy that Twitter takes in so the app can actually function. Without Wi-Fi, Twitter won't work, just like a cell cannot work without photosynthesis. The next part of a cell would be the chromosomes. For Twitter, I say that would be settings. So we're just going to do this little gear and then hit settings. Settings are like the chromosomes because chromosomes is where DNA is stored. The settings is where all your personal information is stored, like your name, age, gender, and birthday, in which all of that would be considered the DNA that the chromosomes store. So all your personal info would be the DNA that settings store, and settings would be the chromosomes. The next part of a cell would be the cytoskeleton. For Twitter, that would be the CEO, so we can just look him up. Search. The cytoskeleton is the DNA framework and where the support is provided. In my opinion, this makes me think of the CEO because they help take care of Twitter and provide support for it, just like the cytoskeleton. The next part of a cell would be the cilia, which is the left picture. For Twitter, I say that is your followers. Cilia is movement, but is smaller movement, which reminds me of followers. Our followers can slowly progress to more or less, and it may not be movement exactly. Twitter is stationary, but it's something growing and shrinking, so it's close to movement. The next part of a cell would be the flagella, which is the right picture. For Twitter, I say that is trends, so we're going to go to timeline, select everyone, and hit more trends, list, view. Flagella is large movement that whips like a tail, and that reminds me of trends on Twitter because trends get spread around quickly and just about everyone will know about it. And that is exactly what trends do because everyone will know about them and they get spread around quite quickly, which is kind of like movement even though Twitter is stationary. The very last part of a cell would be the centriole. For Twitter, I say the centriole is people's interests. The centriole reminds me of people's interests and why they have Twitter. Like some people have interests in certain artists and will follow those people and others who like the same artists. So for me, I like One Direction, so I follow them. And I also follow people who like them, like this person. Her name is Alyssa, Dimple Louie, they like One Direction as well. People are separated throughout Twitter from their interests, and the centriole is cell division, which is kind of what people's interests do, divide us into smaller groups.